Welcome back to the Little Marketing Podcast, where we share practical real-life advice for Australian small businesses right across Australia. So today's episode is all about how something is changing the way that people search online, and I genuinely think that it's one of the biggest shifts in marketing that we've seen in a long time. So for a long time, if you wanted more inquiries online, the conversations were pretty simple. So you'd maybe look at updating your website, running some Google ads, investing in SEO, and then hopefully popping up in front of the people searching for your products or your services. Those things are still really important and they're not going anywhere, but the way people are searching for information is changing. So a lot more people are now asking AI tools or AI-powered search tools for information and recommendations versus just typing in keywords into Google. So rather than just typing in marketing consultancy in Sydney, they might ask ChatGPT, who is a good marketing consultant for a small business in Australia. Or instead of just typing in best accountant near me, can you recommend an accountant that's good with family business? And it's a much more natural way of asking and searching. So the question for small business owners is no longer just can you be found online, it's becoming can AI find and understand your business as well. So if you think about how you search yourself today versus 5 years ago, it's probably changed a lot. So years ago you'd type in a few keywords, so maybe electricians near me or best plumbers in the Shire, but now people are asking complete questions. They're looking for recommendations, they're looking for comparisons, they're asking AI to explain things, summarize things, and even recommend businesses. And it's a really important shift because it's changing what businesses need to create. So instead of just thinking about keywords, you also need to be thinking about real answers to real questions that people are going to be asking. So whether it's articles, FAQs, podcasts, all of that information helps search engines and increasingly AI tools to understand what your business does. So one thing that I just want to point out is that SEO isn't dead, and it's still one of the best long-term investments that a small business can make. A well-optimized website can help your clients find you, builds credibility and drives inquiries, but discoverability is becoming much more broader than just Google. Customers might discover you through Google search, AI-generated answers, ChatGPT, social media, YouTube, podcasts, online articles, reviews, and industry directories. So the businesses that are easiest to find across multiple channels are giving themselves the best opportunities to win new customers. So that's why we've spoken previously about being discoverable, and it's not just a matter of being on one platform. It's about creating a digital presence that helps people find you wherever they're looking. So one thing that often gets overlooked is that AI doesn't magically understand what your business does. It relies on the information that it's given. So if your website clearly explains what you do, who you help, where you operate, and why you're different, then AI has a much better chance of understanding your business. If your website is really vague or is filled with lots of jargon, then AI isn't really going to be able to understand or recommend your business. So the same applies to your content. So the more useful it is, the more educational and the more relevant, the stronger your digital footprint becomes. And that's another reason why we've encouraged our clients to write articles, create videos, and podcasts. So if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that we constantly come back to how important positioning is, and today's episode just reinforces that. AI is looking for clarity, your customers are looking for clarity, and search engines are looking for clarity. So if your business is trying to appeal to everyone, it becomes harder for people and AI to actually know what you're known for. And there are businesses that can clearly communicate what they do, who they help. So one of the biggest opportunities for small businesses in Australia today is to create genuinely useful and helpful content. So think about questions that you're asked every week from your customers or your clients. These are the same things that are being typed into Google and to AI platforms. So instead of just answering them to a customer one at a time, why not answer these through a blog post or a podcast or even a social media reel? If you do it that way, you're helping your existing customers, you're helping new customers, and you're helping AI search tools understand your business. So when AI comes up in conversation, it's a common question that people ask if websites are even needed anymore. And the answer is yes, because customers still want to know who they're dealing with. And even if AI recommends your business to them, they're going to want to click on your website, they're going to want to search, they're going to want to read about you. They're looking for reassurance, they're looking for reviews, they're looking at your experience, and they're looking at your work. They're trying to decide whether they trust you. So while AI might often discover your business for them, your website is then going to back that trust up for them. So if you're wondering where to start, here are a few practical things that I'd recommend. First, make sure your website clearly explains what you do, who you help, where you operate, and why you're different. Second, keep creating helpful content that answers genuine customer questions. Third, stay consistent. Don't just publish one article and then disappear for the next 6 months. Make sure you're building momentum over time. And finally, don't chase every new trend. The businesses that usually win are the ones that consistently communicate useful information over a long period of time. So AI is changing the way that people search, but it's not changing what customers are looking for. They're still looking for businesses that they can trust, that communicate clearly, that demonstrate expertise, and those fundamentals haven't and won't change. So thanks so much for listening to today's episode. I hope it was helpful. If you want some more information, you could head to our website, which is littlemarketing.com.au. You could visit our socials or send us an email at ask@littlemarketing.com.au. Is marketing overwhelming for your small business? Get in touch with our team today to start the conversation. We'd love to help simplify your marketing and build a strategy that's practical, sustainable, and designed for long-term growth.
Please note that all the information provided on this podcast is general in nature and is not intended to be specific advice to your individual situation. Please be sure to engage a professional for a customized approach to your business and personal circumstances.